on the Chicago Bears.
Now, this building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it is the opener of the 2024 NFL season, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Washington Commanders. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived. Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready, and we are underway from FedEx Field. This fielded right at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now he'll dump it up underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now 2nd and 3. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They go play action here on first down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. DeMarcus Walker. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4. It continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And led out by the rookie. Expectations high here as he's making his first NFL start.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Starting on the ground with Herbert. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Fields. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
But he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Khalil Herbert. And just shutting him off there. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now Fields going to keep it running left. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Herbert now on the option. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Khalil Herbert taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears are on the board here first in the season opener. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. In motion left goes a tight end. They begin the drive with Robinson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. Gets past one man. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 3rd down and 1. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brad, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. It's complete to Brown, right side. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Another completion there. And you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the 1st round, getting the start here, as we mentioned, in week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the 1st round, people are going to clamor for you to be the starter right away, but many teams want you to get your feet wet first, you know, maybe just kind of hang out behind a veteran starter. In this case, though, he ascended right to the top role, and I know he's excited about the opportunity.
Fields on 1st down. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. To throw is Fields. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is taken at the 23. And the Washington offense heading out. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Robinson on a give right side. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Robinson with another carry. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a 5-point game. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they certainly got dented with that 1st down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. On the option right is Fields. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. Here it's complete. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Fields now to throw. Out to his left. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for 1st downs instead of airing it out.
Don't jump, ready?
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And the situation changes a bit now. 1st and goal from back at the 10. Herbert powering up the middle. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. On the option left is Fields. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Back to throw, Fields. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Sly able to put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the Washington offense going back to work. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
Here we go. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Okay, so roughing the passer, and I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week 1 as your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you're exactly right about that. You hate it any week, but boy, are you on target. This is just depending on him to take him through 17 games, so you definitely can't let him get hurt right now.
Well, another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
A first red zone chance of the new season now as they come up 1st and goal. They'll run with Robinson. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. From the Robinson again, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Commanders are back within a couple of the lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in after report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this is now a 1-point game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8. Now Fields. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Now it's Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And he will have the Bears first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On 1st down, it's Fields. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Good job starting on that scramble. Had his eyes on that first down marker, CD, but lost the most important thing, the football.
Yeah, wasn't quite there. Focused solely on getting to the first down marker. Forgot to cover up and take care of the ball.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now back to throw.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. This a 43-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Here's Fields.
Buying time to his left.
Fields hit and the ball is loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Short throw here to the tight end Bates.
And this will leave him a yard short.
Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
He'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, That's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped.
Ready, set.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are able to extend their lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. That time a 6-play drive. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Here's Fields. That'll be caught. It's Scott. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They'll run. It's Herbert. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw on 2nd down, Fields. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Fields working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. They'll set up the screen for Herbert. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Again, Fields. And he's got it. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Herbert will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Slide for the PAT. And the lead is down to 2. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Commanders back out late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Back to throw now on first down. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. I call it no gain there on the first down play. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going deep for Brown. That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Here is 3rd and 5. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. 1 second, all that remains. A final shot before the break. Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. It was a solid first half of football for the Alabama man, Brian Robinson. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
And they run the option on second down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Fields forced out to his left. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
To the opposite of what they envisioned when they left that locker room, a turnover on the opening drive of this third quarter.
I like your identification there because that's exactly what they discussed in the locker room before they came out on the field. Let's get the ball, let's go down and score, put some points on the board and feel good about it. Not an insurmountable lead, but definitely not how they saw it at halftime.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Gervon Dexter, who got in to drop him. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
He'll look to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Going for it all. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
That is caught, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Back to the ground with Robinson. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Touchdown! Jahan Dotson. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Point after here coming up. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Jahan Dotson with a touchdown catch to finish things off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Back to the air, Fields on 2nd down. Got an open man, it's Scott. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a nice spin into some open field. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders offense set to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Short throw there, caught by Thomas. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Here's 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Fields on first down. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Fields again. His pass on target. Velus Jones with it. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Draw play, a give to Herbert. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Moore, the motion man right. Play action. It's Fields. Down the sideline he goes. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyler Scott, 79 yards. And the Bears have got it back to within a score. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Sly on for the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back. Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? Now Fields throwing middle, and it's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. On play action, Fields. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line. It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Back to throw, Fields. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down. Fields now to throw. That escapes the sack. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Robinson up the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 2. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. A nice completion there for the 1st down. And Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
Throwing it Terry McLaurin's way again, and he's got it. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of... And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Gervon Dexter in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. They'll look to throw here. Throw right side complete to Dotson. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The Bears now ready to take over again. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Fields on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st.
Here we go. 58,
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now it's Fields. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal. Herbert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. And they'll run again. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Khalil Herbert with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bears have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
So what can the Bears do here as they'll go for 2? Fields trying to throw for it. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
What a start to the season. This has been back and forth. All tied 4th quarter as the kick is away here. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Washington offense set to take over. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. Some good games around the league here early in Week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Oh, now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Deron Payne picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A handoff for Herbert. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on fourth. It would be 58 yards from here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. So a nice throw there, and CD, I have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
Now, you know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come if with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads.
Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And he gets it down to the 32. The 71 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's 1st down as the tackle made at the 31-yard line. They'll drop to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Robinson gets the toss on the right side.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this one is right through. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Fields. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Muscles him off. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. From the 46, here's a 2nd and 4. Now Fields going to keep it running left. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. To throw is Fields. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Here's Fields. Over the middle, complete. That's Scott. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. From the 29, here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Fields. Run. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim fourth quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Hand off now to Robinson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Robinson with another carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
2nd and 6. On the give, here's Robinson. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
Here's Robinson. And he will have a Commander's 1st down, and that should just about do it.
It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Washington, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.